Good afternoon. I hope everybody is well. I just read this in Light Points, which is from the teachings of the Lubavitcher Rebbe. I thought it was fascinating, so I'd like to share it with you. It's talking about when the people got were at Har Sinai and the revelation of the Torah. They said that the first two dibros, the first two sayings were said by God, and then the people were all afraid. So then everything else gets transmitted more through Moshe. And in the readings in chapter 20, verse 15, it says, and the people could not see, and the people could see the sounds and the flames and the sound of the shofar and the smoky mountain. They saw and they moved and they stood from afar. They saw all these things and they got afraid and they moved afraid because they were so intimidated and fearful of things. They said there was thunder and lightning. There's all sorts of, they heard all different things. And then later on in Parshas Mishpatim, it says that if somebody ends up being a slave because they stole whatever it is, they end up getting with an awe into their ear, they get pierced. And then they say that the reason why is because it's the same ear that heard on Har Sinai that, okay, I'm going to be a servant to Hashem. Now this person who's a slave is saying he wants to be he could go free, but he's saying no, he wants to be a servant to this man or woman, this family, whatever it is. And so and they go out of their way. So they ask the question, well, why, at Har Sinai, no, not only did we hear Hashem, but we saw him. We saw the sounds, we saw all the different things. So why aren't our eyes punished as well? Um, like, why is it just a year? So he goes on to explain, and I hope I am understanding it correctly, that because from what we saw there, when we saw all the thunder and we saw all the sounds, that's unnatural. That was such a high spiritual state. You don't normally see sounds. You don't normally see the sounds of the shofar and all these different things. That's so unique, unprecedented things like that, that we're not expected, that's not normal sight. So we hear. So we're only really expected to do what it's only our ear that's expected that we're supposed to be doing. Yes, at Har Sinai we saw different things that no one in the history have ever saw. But now, like the slave who stole and things like that, his eyes aren't getting punched because what he saw back then was so unusual, so out of the ordinary that he doesn't get punished. But the ear, it's normal to hear. It's normal that he heard Hashem speaking. It's normal that he heard the sound of the thunder. So the ear that heard, I am the Lord your God, and you should, that you're an Eved to me. That's why the ear gets pierced and the eyes don't really, because then they were so above, it was so unnatural, so whatever, so the eyes don't get punished, and only not the eyes, the person's eyes don't get punished. So we should just be aware that we have to really live up to our potential. Shouldn't have to say, okay, we have to go above and be supernatural, and we have to keep, like just at Har Sinai, we saw things that would never happen. We have to just do things that are in our ability. It's in our ability to hear. We heard we should just stay focused, frame ourselves to do what we can, and not reach too high, and slowly but slowly go up the ladder.